Good evening, ladies. How are you doing? Happy Mother's Day. This is so good. Alrighty. When you join in, say that you're here so I know if somebody's with me tonight or not. Hi, Patty. Happy Mother's Day. Okay. I'm going to give it like another minute or so. Oops, things are flying. I was pulling embellishments and stamp sets and all kinds of fun stuff. All right. We're going to get started. Tonight's card is a very simple card, and it could be for Mother's Day. I already gave my mom her card, so it's not. I'm going to make it a birthday card, but that's okay. So I am using that garden poetry again tonight, but tonight we're going to focus on the purples that were in that set. So you will need your standard card base, which is 5.5 by 8.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. You're going to want to have some embellishments, and I'm going to show you a little technique with using vellum. You will need a piece of cardstock that measures 1 3/4 by 2, a coordinating piece of pattern paper that's 1.5 by 4 1/4, and then you're going to need a very subtle or cardstock piece that is 3 7/8 by 1 1/8. Okay, so those are just, and I told you it's a very simple card. Hi, Lori. Happy Mother's Day to you. Now, the stamps that I'm thinking about using is the new Fern and Flora, or I might use the Rolling Waves. I haven't decided which route I'm going yet. I'm leaning towards this and doing well, maybe even a combination of the two. Alrighty, so we're gonna get started, and let's bring in our card base. All right, so I'm going to fold my card base in half at that 4 1/4 inch line. I'm going to give it a crispy edge. And then I'm going to take that subtle piece or cardstock, whichever way you went with it. And again, it was 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. The back side of this is the piece that I'm going to be using as my decorative. So that is why I don't want it this way. I wanted this subtle side. So let's put our adhesive on, and I'm ready to run out of adhesive. Yep. I'm close. I have a spare sitting right next to me, which seems to happen always on Sundays. I don't know why. And you know what? I think I'm going to ink the edge of that quickly with some charcoal ink. Let me grab my dauber. Because, of course, you know, it's sitting over on the other table. And I'm just going to do a very light line along the edges. And it's very soft. I hope you both had a great day today. We did church early, surprised my mom, then Matt took me out for breakfast. Then I did my usual run to Aldi's, get the things I need for the work week. And then we started laundry. I took a nap. Isn't that always a wonderful treat? Okay, so now I'm going to pull in my coordinating paper. That is 1.5 by 4 1/4. And then we went to my mom's for dinner. My stepdad made ribs and sweet potatoes. And then they baked an apple pie. It was a lovely day. Sad to see it end. Okay, so I'm not going to adhere this piece down quite yet because I want to first see where my embellishments are going to go, but it's slotted to go to this left-hand side. Now I'm going to pull in that piece of cardstock that was 1 3/4 by 2. And I'm just going to put a little bit of ink here. It just helps with defining the line of the paper. That little bit. And I'm going to place it right there. I'm going to set this aside because I am going to pull in what I pulled for my embellishments. And I pulled in a pretty bracket that has the gold lines on it and a gold embossed vellum flower, a pearl flower, that's pearl paper, and then more of the vellum leaves that go with this flower. So this is kind of what my thinking was going to be, was something like that, and then tucking one on this side, and then bringing in my sentiment maybe down here. I don't know if I want this in here as well. Oh, I kind of do. I kind of like that. Okay, but what I want to do first with the 2 leaf vellum pieces, I'm going to color the backside of them with my marker, with my alcohol marker, to give it a little bit of a color. So I am going to pull in an alcohol marker. I'm going to use my Spectrum Noirs, and I am pulling in Jade Green Blend. And I think, let's see, yeah, I like that color. And I kind of like the dark because it's going to be very light when I go to color. So I am going to use the dark side of the marker. And I'll show you here in a second. All I'm doing is just coloring it in. And I really want to be careful that I bring it all the way up or down so that I have the least amount of like the little dots. Okay, we're going to do this side. And then I'm going to show you how cool this looks. It is such a fun technique that then you could get your vellum to match your paper. Do you see how there's, let me bring it up a little higher. See how there's like little dots from the ink? What I want to try to do is smooth it out as best as I can, okay? So that's what I'm gonna do by bringing my marker and dragging those lines all to one starting location. Okay, let's take a peek at what it looks like now from the other side. That is where it's going to be very cool. And see how it's really soft versus this one that has nothing colored behind it. And I went with a dark green. I mean, you can see how dark it is, but through the vellum, because the vellum is slightly thicker, that it softens it. Okay, so it is a different technique to, try. So I'm just going to quickly color this one in. And it kind of hides if you went out of the lines. It will hide it just a little. And it's actually easier to color it in the air, because then you can see right through it, because it's such a thick vellum. Now I believe these leaves and flowers are, I think they're in the last chance section, I think. They're so pretty. And you can use them on your scrapbooking, you can use them on your cards. You can put them really on any of your paper crafting projects. By coloring it in the air, you're tending to get all of it. And I can always go over it a second time or a third time once I have the initial done. There we go. I did upload last Sunday's video to the YouTube channel, and I uploaded our Thursday monthly card class. So both of those videos now are up. And isn't that pretty? I mean, it's really soft, but it gives you a little more oomph. And so I'm going to put that one here, this one down here. Oh, yes. Yes, I like that. That looks really, really nice. Okay, so here we're going to stamp a sentiment. So we'll do that in a moment. In the meantime, let's get some of our parts down. Okay, so I like the placement. So we're going to put that one piece on first, the pattern paper. Now, next week's class will be a fancy fold. I don't remember the name of it, but I will be using this garden poetry paper. Sorry. There we go. All right, we're going to put our square right there. Now, since this is a thicker vellum, I can actually put my foam tape back here, and it's going to be a-okay. Now I got to first find it. Oh, here it is. Sitting in front of me. All right, I'm going to just place it. I'm not going to take those backings off because I want to first get all of these pieces adhered. Excuse me. All right. And I'm going to be mindful of where I place my glue. So I'm going to go at the stem only because it is vellum. Okay, so we're going to put that one there. And then I did like this. Okay, let's tuck it. Hold it down for a second. Okay, let's put this back on. And now we're going to do that bottom leaf. Okay. Oh my goodness, my fingers must be sticking to the paper because it just does not want to stick. There we go. All right, let's get our backings off of these. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I like that. Okay, so now we are going to stamp our sentiment here. And I wanted to see if this happy birthday fits. So let's try it. And while I'm here, I might as well show you this whole stamp set. So you have some wonderful sayings. You're in my thoughts, but bon voyage, thank you. Hoping your day is perfect and happy birthday. And then these would build waves. And then you had like the little seashells and the sea star and sand, all of that. So that would do that. And now these would be the dies. Let me show you those. These will continue to build a scene that would be like a beachy scene. Let me show you because I've done one on a layout. This will be for an upcoming workshop. So it's 3 different dies I used here to build the sand and the water and the rolling waves and all of that. So that is the dies. Isn't that just spectacular? And then the chair came from another stamp set. So fun. So fun. But then it also has the umbrella, 2 umbrellas, and then your little sea creatures, and then a beautiful fawn, fawn and flora, something like that. So, I mean, you get a lot of dies in this set. All right, so let's see if Happy Birthday fits. No, it is not going to fit, but does this fit? Hoping your day is perfect. That does fit. So we could put that on the front. Okay, let's check out our other set that I pulled. So then I also have the Fern and Flora. This is the stamp set. Again, it is another pretty incredible one. I really like this one. Sincere thanks. You make the world a better place. You're an amazing friend. Thank you. I wanted to see if you're an amazing friend. Would that fit on here? Let's find it. I'm going to say no. No, it doesn't quite fit. It's a little wider. Now the dies for this set, oh, I just love them. I just love them. I mean, look again how intricate and lovely that fern is. So that would be this one right here. So you're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that don't require any stamping. And then you have these two here that are stamps, and so are these two. And then you have the cute little flowers and butterflies, and these will make more flowers on a lovely little tag. Maybe we should switch to that tag. Let's just see. No, see, that's too big. It eats up too much of my pretty flower, and I don't want to eat up the flower. Okay. All right, so we're not going to worry about this, but yeah, those would be flowers, and so are these, and they would go on this one. Isn't that set wonderful? Oh, I just love it. I love it, love it, love it. Now, I did use those ferns in another scrapbook page of the same workshop that's coming soon. Let me see if I can find it quickly, just so I can show you. And here they are. Doesn't that just add that summertime feel? I love those. So yeah, this layout is coming soon. Coming soon. I just have to get the photographs done. All right, so I think we're gonna lean with hoping your day is perfect, because it was pretty close to fitting. So let's get that on a block. Now, a secret to getting your stamp nice and straight is positioning it either like on your Versamat or a glass board, something like that, and then you put your block over to pick it up. Then that way you know you're going to be right side straight. I'm just going to season this just a little, get that residue from the manufacturing off. And we're going to stamp it in charcoal. And as always, this video will move over to the YouTube channel. I'm not going to say tonight, because probably not tonight. All right, let's line this up. See how it's so close. I'm going to let it sit there for just a second so that it soaks into my paper. Perfect. See, the T is just a little bit and the H is a little bit, but it's okay. It will be just fine. And then we want this to lay here. So I'm going to put some dimensionals on this left-hand side. So I'm going to lay that upside down. Okay, let's add a little bit of adhesive to the other edge. Okay, and we're going to place that here. Lovely. Okay, let's get our inside. Now we could do the happy birthday. Happy birthday, you're in my thoughts. I like that. What was the other one? Yeah, I think I like that. Let's use that. Happy birthday, you're in my thoughts. Okay, let's position it on my glass mat first. And then, or I should probably put, you're in my thoughts, happy birthday. No, I think I like happy birthday, you're in my thoughts. I like that. That sounds nice. Nope. Okay. Let's get that off. And now we're going to ink this up. And what you want to do, because it is the Close to My Heart pad and they're felt, you always want to walk your stamp across. Okay, and I'm going to go a little bit higher up, right there. Let that soak in. Perfect. All right, let's add some gems next. All right, I don't think these are elegant enough. Okay, I like those. These are the tinsel gems. So let's see how those look. Those look really pretty. What if we use the green? I'm kind of liking the green. All right, I had pulled these in. That's a definite no. All right, we have the 24-26 in color flat pearls. Let's give them a try. I like having options. Again, I do like the green just as a contrasting color, but I also like this yellow. Because it kind of pulls up the gold. Yeah, I'm leaning more towards that one now as opposed to this. So let's put this one away, or I'm just setting it aside. And then these would be the 24-26 in color shimmer. Yes, shimmer gems. So let's see how those are. See, now the yellow looks more orangey, I think. And the green is soft. I don't think I want the purple. I'm still kind of liking the pearls. I have one more option. Let's look at this last option. And this would be various sequins. And I don't think that really gives us enough of a contrast. Okay, let's just set that aside. And I think I'm going to go with the yellow, only because it looks more gold. Okay, let's pull. My family is like having a whole group chat through text messaging right now, and they're driving me crazy. So let's do a nice big one, and I'm going to go right over here with it so it's near the rose. Now I'm going to do a medium, and let's come this way with it, and then we're going to do a small. I think I'm going to come way over here by the leaf. Right there. Oh, that looks really pretty. I like that. And there's our card. Now my vellum is still free floating, which is good because you don't really want to tack that vellum down too much. But it gives it enough of a contrast by coloring in the back side of the vellum. Now, let's see, next week, we will be doing a front flap card. And I think we might have done this before. I'm not 100% sure. I mean, I did thumb through my notes because I have the entire year in a notebook since we've started. We've been doing this for almost 2 years, ladies. Yeah. So next week will be it's called a front flap card. So your dimensions will be posted on Wednesday afternoon so that you are able to get your papers cut so that you can join along with me to make our card next Sunday for Sunday Fun Day. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Mother's Day. And if you guys could all just say a teeny little prayer. I have 3 parents. I'm showing them resource rooms on Tuesday and Wednesday. Please pray that those mothers say yes to those rooms, because these children really, really need those rooms in order to learn. So say a couple prayers that those moms come to their mental status and say yes. Okay? Plus it will help the teachers. So have a nice Mother's Day and enjoy, and I will post on Wednesday our measurements, and this video will move over to YouTube sometime this week, and I'll see you next Sunday for Sunday Fun Day. Good night.